I represent Quaddy Bay LLC. I'm project manager with Quaddy Bay LLC.
Okay. Tell me about the project.
The project is a proposed LNG import facility. It would basically bring in liquefied natural gas imports from other areas in order to increase our supply of natural gas here in the Northeast, so we could replace dirty fuels like coal and oil with this natural gas to improve the environment. And here in Washington County, provide Washington County with a huge amount of jobs and a lot of income for further economic growth.
Where are you guys out of?
We're actually based out of Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Our company, I actually work with Smith Cogeneration, which is the managing partner of Quaddy Bay LLC right now.
Okay. Now, when you say jobs, what are we really talking? Realistically, what kind of jobs are we talking about?
Well, realistically, during the construction phase, there will be approximately, on average, over the course of 3 years, there will be approximately 400 jobs. In the peak times, there may be up to 1,000 or 1,000 different workers coming in, 1,000 different jobs coming in. In terms of Washington County, we're going to work with local contractors and the local community college in order to provide as many of those jobs to local people here in Pleasant Point, Eastport, Perry, and even down as far as Machias and up to Calais. We're looking to provide as many possible jobs to Washington County. And we'll do that. We're hoping at least half of the jobs during the construction period will come from Washington County. During the operations phase, the facility itself will only employ about 70 people. Approximately 4 of those jobs will be taken probably by high-level managers from other existing LNG import facilities. The rest will be local people, and we'll work with Washington County Community College and the state to run training programs actually here on site during construction. So the people who will be working at the facility during the operational phase can also be here during the construction phase to see how it's all put together.
So for 3 years, 400 jobs, and after that, 70 local jobs,
yep.
Basically.
But actually, the facility itself will only employ 70, which will have an average income of around $75,000, which is $5.5 million, I think, in terms of income to the area. But then we will also require additional services from the local communities, which will total more than $10 million a year. The overall effects during the long 30 to 50 to 60 year contract will be approximately 850 jobs a year in Washington County, according to the Maine State Planning Office, who put our costs and our jobs at the facility through their computers, which mimic the economy here in Washington County, and found that it will support approximately 850 jobs.
So why did you pick this site, Brian?
We actually picked this site. Our company, Quaddy Bay LLC, was formed in response to representatives from the tribe talking with us and discussing the possibility of locating a LNG import facility here on Passamaquoddy land. So, we investigated this site among others here in Washington County and throughout Maine, and determined that this is a very feasible site for an LNG import facility. And the interest that was already shown in locating an LNG import facility here made it a very beneficial site for an LNG import facility. So
what is it, how many acres is it going to take up?
The facility itself, the actual footprint of the facility will probably be a little over 20 acres. The exclusion zones, which are basically zones to ensure that in the event of a catastrophe, nobody is, there aren't congregations of people or a church nearby. The exclusion zone will be approximately 1,000 feet. So it won't stretch across the highway, for example. It won't leave Passamaquoddy land. It will likely go over, a couple buildings, which will, be moved outside of the exclusion zone, but it won't have any significant impacts on the area. It will all be contained on the land that you see behind me. So
I just found out, talking to the news crew in Canada, that you've got some competition. Is that good? How do you view that?
I wouldn't view them as competition.
All right.
The Irvings are attempting to put an LNG import facility up in St. John, which we applaud. The reason why we got into natural gas in the first place is to improve the environment, replace coal and oil with natural gas as we move towards renewables. Hopefully in 30 or 50 years, wind power and tidal power and solar power, maybe even hydrogen power will overtake all of the fuel sources, and we'll be able to supply all of the energy that we need right now. That can't be done right now, so we have to fill that gap, that 30 to 60 year gap, with something. We can either fill it with coal and oil and continue to deplete the environment with carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases and acid rain and mercury pollution, or we can fill that gap with natural gas. And So, the more natural gas we bring into the area, the more we can replace coal and oil, and the better the environment becomes.
So when you meet people that are against this thing, what do you tell them? How do you make them change their mind? How can you get them to change their mind? I'm giving you the opportunity to talk to those people directly.
Okay, well, I'm not here to tell anybody their opinions. I'm not here to tell them how to vote in Perry. I am here to ensure that people base their opinions on facts and not on scare tactics and not on diversions. I want people to basically determine for themselves whether they're for economic development or they're not for economic development. And that's really what it boils down to. And I'll tell you, if more people here are against economic development than are for it, then this isn't the right place for it. But if people, determine their opinions based on, somebody drawing a big circle, where it's only a 1,000-foot exclusion zone, then I don't feel as though we've done justice in informing the public about the actual facts of this facility. And those facts are that this will provide a large economic stimulus to this county. It will also improve our environment, not just here in Washington County, but throughout all of New England. People will decide for themselves whether they're for or against it.